Hey guys, welcome back. This is Jen from Palm Trees and Reads, and today I wanted to share with you the top 10 romances that I have read so far in 2024. Now, if you watched my last video, you will know that I just read my 100th book in 2024, which is absolutely crazy. The most books that I had ever read in a year was 98 in the entire year. And it's already the first week of May, and I have read 100 books. So the highest category that I read of any of those was romance. I read 37 romance books. And so out of those 37, I wanted to share with you my top 10 romances. Now, this is not going to be any fantasy romance. That I might do in a different video, but honestly, I've already shared my top 3 fantasy romances already in my last video. So we're just going to focus on romance here, and I believe this is all contemporary romance as well. I'll let you know if any of that is not. But I will let you know my 10 favorite romances and then the 3 popular TikTok ones that did not work for me, unfortunately. So, starting off strong, this series has my whole heart. It is the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. This is a dark-ish romance series. It's not super dark. Honestly, I tried haunting Adeline and I could not get through it. I DNF'd it. So that'll give you an idea maybe of how dark this is. I love Penelope Douglas. So if you don't know, Penelope Douglas has written many different books, and she has... So this series follows the Four Horsemen, and they have given this nickname to themselves in high school. These are kind of like the big men on campus in high school, and when they are all in their, I believe, sophomore year of college, they get locked up for crimes. So all of their lives are on an amazing trajectory. They're all going to go to Ivy League schools and everything. They're really wealthy in this small town on the East Coast. And then suddenly they all get arrested for these crimes and they all go to prison. So all 4 of the Devil's Night books are told in dual timeline, past and present. The past timeline is a different year of high school, in all 4 books, and that depends upon when they meet the female love interest. They meet all of the female love interests in high school, but at different times. And then there's also a present timeline. And in the present timeline, the story does progress from all 4 books forward. So you do have to read them in order. The books honestly get better as they go. My favorite is the 3rd. I think that's everybody's favorite. It is Damon's story called Kill Switch. And when you read book 1, you do not think you're going to like Damon at all, because he is definitely the villain and the bully, but then he gets a redemption arc, which is really nice and sweet. These books are just everything to me. The writing is fantastic. I will read everything that Penelope Douglas writes from now on, and I know they have a new book out, so I will definitely be reading that. But I just absolutely love this. So if you want a little bit of a bully romance, but also kind of sweet, not haunting Adeline level, maybe check this out. The other series, and yes, I am including this series as 1 book, and I also included the Devil's Night series as 1 book because I do just love both of these books in this series and I can't choose. And that is the Rebel Blue Ranch series. The first one is Done and Dusted, and the second one is Swift and Saddled. These are both written by Lila Sage. These are small town cowboy romances, and they follow couples. And the thing I really like about these books is that they're light and fluffy, but they move fast. They're not dragged out. In the first one, there's no 3rd act breakup, which is fantastic. I hate 3rd act breakups, especially because of miscommunication. In the second book, there's a little baby 3rd act breakup, but it lasts about 10 pages, so it didn't bother me. And the man did communicate very well, so it didn't bother me. Both of these are just super sweet, but also have really good mental health representation. So they're light and fluffy, but at the same time have a little bit difficult topics, but don't make it too difficult and too depressing, if that makes sense. And I love both of these. The first one is Brother's Best Friend, and the second one is kind of like Fish Out of Water, Opposites Attract. The second one is my favorite. It is Ada, who is living in San Francisco, kind of escaping her life, and she is an interior designer, and she is brought to this small town in the West to renovate a ranch inn, basically. But I love these books so much. The third one comes out in December. I've already pre-ordered it. It's called Lost and Lassoed. And then there's going to be a fourth one as well in 2025, so I can't wait for that one. Okay, now on to my next favorite, which was actually quite a surprise to me, a pleasant surprise. And that is Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. This is a golf romance. And I believe this is the only sports romance on the list because sports romances, I like them. I read plenty of them, but I usually give them like 3-4 stars, but I really liked this one. And no one was more surprised than I am because Tessa Bailey, I feel like I've liked some of her books, but then some of them I haven't loved. So I will say in Fangirl Down, like the spice definitely brought it down for me. I just hate this spice in most of Tessa Bailey's books, to be totally honest with you. It's just like not my thing. They do stuff that's like way out there, not my thing. But if you can get past that in this book, then I think you'll really enjoy it. This book follows Wells, who is a pro golfer. Wells used to be a really good top pro golfer, but he kind of self-imploded a little bit. He's got anger issues and he's no longer the best, and slowly all of his fans have abandoned him, except for this one girl whose name I forgot. But she is the ultimate fangirl. She will not give up on Wells. And it turns out that Wells gets to know her and then kind of like feels sorry for her because she really believes so strongly in him and he doesn't believe himself. And so he ends up offering her a job as his caddy. And she runs a golf pro shop. Like, she knows a ton about golf. It's like half pitting, but half like he really wants her opinion and he thinks that she could be a really good caddy for him. And so they start working together. So it's like sort of boss employee, as well as a sports romance, and a little redemption story. So it's super cute. Okay, the next one is a 5-star for me. And it's actually funny because I have 2 of this author's books, Lauren Asher. I have 2 of her books on my bookshelf right here. And it's the series that she's most famous for, the Dreamland Billionaires. And I've actually never read any of the Dreamland Billionaires series, so I need to because obviously I own 2 of them. But I have not read any of the Dreamland Billionaires series, but love Redesign by Lauren Asher. I love this book. It is a small town romance, and it's sort of second chance, sort of childhood friends to lovers. You have Dahlia and Julian, whose names I can actually remember. Wow, that's great. And Julian lives in this small town in Michigan, and Dahlia is living in Northern California. Both Dahlia and Julian went to Stanford together, and they were family friends growing up. They sort of dated at Stanford, and then it ended really badly. And they both have a lot of bitterness with how it ended. Dahlia comes back and moves back to her small town. There's also a home renovation, like in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. But this one's a lot of fun. It's a little tad bit too long, I have to say. I know it's over 500 pages. And the pacing is like a little bit strange in that it's like slow burn, and then like a bunch of chapters of straight spice. But Lauren Asher, I heard her talk about that, and apparently that's something that her readers wanted from her past books. So anyway, that's probably just a me thing, but it's a super cute story. Next one is Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. This one pleasantly surprised me. It's very light and fluffy while also dealing with some heavy topics. And this one focuses on a vacation. So the main character, I can never remember any main character, but I do remember her sister's name. Her sister's name is Amory. And basically our female main character was dating this guy. She broke up with the guy because she just wasn't feeling it. And then the guy started dating her sister, Amory, and is now getting married. And Amory has invited everyone to Tulum, Mexico. She's invited the wedding party to Tulum, Mexico for a week before the wedding so everyone can hang out together. Our female main character has known our male main character because they were kind of in the same friend group with her sister. But it's her sister's fiance's best man and best friend. And they don't know each other that well, but they really get to know each other in Tulum while they're waiting for this wedding. And they decide to have a friends with benefits situation just for the week, and they said they'll stop as soon as the wedding happens, and then they'll go home and kind of go their separate ways. But of course, that's not what's going to happen, because they're going to develop feelings for each other. This one surprisingly turns kind of emotional at the end. There's some family drama, but I really enjoyed this one, and I thought it was a really fast read, and I also recommend the audiobook. Okay, the next one is called On the Same Page by Haley Cass. And this is a sapphic romance between two women who are living in Boston. This is a friends to lovers situation where they were college roommates and college best friends. This is told in a dual timeline. And it's actually really interesting because when the book starts out, the two girls, even though they were roommates, they were just randomly assigned as roommates freshman year of college. And they did, well, one of them did not like the other one. There's basically this girl, Gianna, who is an influencer, but in college she was just like a general, like, popular girl. And her roommate, whose name I'm forgetting, actually told her she was a mean girl. She's like, I really don't like you. Like, you're a mean girl. It was actually, like, pretty rude, honestly. Like, I didn't love that for the main characters. But fast forward 8 years and they've become really close friends. But they've never really realized their feelings for each other. And in fact, one of them is in a relationship with men, always has been, doesn't think she's attracted to women. So Gianna helps her work through her feelings of attraction. And she realizes that even though she never thought she was attracted to women, she actually really is attracted to Gianna, who's just this beautiful, beautiful person. Inside and out, it has done a lot of character growth. This one is really way too long, but there's a lot of character growth, which I really enjoyed in this one. Okay, the next one is definitely on the lighter and fluffier side. I was also pleasantly surprised by this one, Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. This is the first Lynn Painter book that I've ever read. I know, I am late to this party, but I just don't really like YA romance, so I've never read a Lynn Painter. But this was light and fluffy in the best way. If you don't know what this is about, there's this guy who helped, his cousin once asked him to help break up his wedding by being the wedding objector. Like, if anyone knows a reason why these two should not be together, please speak now or forever hold your peace. And then this guy stands up and says, like, yes, I know of a reason why these two should not be together. And things happen, and he ends up breaking up the wedding of the female main character, who found out that her fiance was cheating on her. And so she decided to call off the wedding, but in order to, I guess, like, save face with her parents, or in order for her fiance not to spin it in a way that made him look good and her look bad, she hires this wedding objector without knowing him. The two end up objecting to weddings together, but it's really more of like a friends to lovers story, even though it's really obvious that neither of them just wants to be friends from the beginning, and it does take way too long for them to understand and acknowledge their feelings. But this one was just, like, so cute and light and fluffy, and no complicated feelings involved, so really enjoyed that one. In a similar vein, A Long Time Coming also has the theme of friends to lovers. It's not like I love friends to lovers or anything, I just happen to like a lot of these books. A Long Time Coming by Megan Quinn is part of the Kane Brothers series. I have not read the first two. I've heard amazing things about A Not So Meet Cute, so I definitely want to read that one next. But A Long Time Coming just happened to be on Hoopla. I don't think it is anymore. But it was on Hoopla, and I just decided to pick it up on a whim, and I really enjoyed it. This is Breaker Kane, who is a billionaire and one of the three Kane brothers, and his longtime best friends. And it is a loose retelling of my best friend's wedding, but not in an annoying way, honestly. Like, I really enjoyed it, and I really loved the dynamic, and it turned from sweet to spicy, and then sweet again, and it's just really cute. Okay, and then the last two that I have to talk about are definitely on the spicier side. One of them is Goal by Alexandria House. I think I said my Fangirl Down was my only sports romance, but Goal is another sports romance, and this is a hockey romance. And in this team, basically it is a team where they have prioritized Black players. I forget where it is, somewhere in the Midwest. And this guy, he didn't have the best family situation growing up. He didn't have the best relationship with his dad, but he gets recruited onto this hockey team, and he really finds his people and finds a community and a family on his hockey team. He's been with his either girlfriend or fiance for many, many years since college. And I think he proposed to her more because he felt like he had to, but then he realized his heart really wasn't in it. There's no cheating, but there is some other woman drama in it. It didn't bother me because there was no cheating, but just know that going in. But the female main character ends up being the nanny, because our male main character found out that he had actually younger siblings from the father that he never knew existed, and suddenly he has to take care of those younger siblings, and so he says he needs a nanny. He ends up bringing the female main character in to be the nanny to his children, or his adopted children. So yeah, it is the nanny trope. We love that. And it's just a really sweet romance, and the man is just so dedicated to her and just really reassuring through all of the things that she goes through. And I just really love the way he treats her. It's so sweet, and I love the way he handles kind of like her experiences and the physical side of their relationship as well. So love that one. And then the last one is super spicy. It's called Moonlit Thorns by Rayne. I did just see that this just got added to Hoopla at the time that I'm filming this. So go grab it if you haven't already, because it is, I believe, indie published. So it's not kind of widely available yet. But anyway, Moonlit Thorns by Rayne, which is Piper Rayne, which is a writing duo, writing as Rayne for their dark romances. This is a new dark romance series, and Moonlit Thorns is the first one. The second one comes out next month, I think. And this is a loose Beauty and the Beast retelling that follows these billionaire reclusive brothers who live up in this gothic mansion up on a hill. Mysterious things happen there. Our female main character has grown up in a small farm in the shadow of this mansion, not really knowing all the forbidden things that go on in the mansion. Basically, in order to save her family, just like Beauty and the Beast, she ends up staying and living at this castle, the Gothic Manor mansion, with these brothers, and becomes very interested in one brother in particular. The brother is definitely running some underground activities that she finds out about that she is very unaware of when she moves in, and she's kind of sweet and innocent and gets corrupted by him. Don't expect a lot of plot in this one. It's like, honestly, low plot, just vibes. And it gets resolved all very, very quickly. It's not the most believable thing in the world, but if you're looking for escapism, I think this one is a really fun one to choose. Okay, and now I just quickly want to mention 3 really popular book talk ones that just didn't work for me, unfortunately. And those are The 7-Year Slip, Butcher and Blackbird, and Bride. Honestly, I just didn't love any of these guys. I wanted to. I really wanted to like all of these. But I just found the heroine in The 7-Year Slip way too whiny. Butcher and Blackbird, I think it was just not my thing at all. I think I'm just not the target audience. I just didn't think it was well written at all, and like writing matters a lot to me. And then Bride, while it was well written and fine in that regard, I just didn't feel like it was a romance. I felt like it was more of a mystery, and the 2 main characters didn't spend a lot of time together, so I didn't really understand their connection. And it honestly just felt more paranormal and less romance. So I wasn't really into it. I wasn't really convinced the 2 main characters should be together. But I didn't hate it, I will say. I didn't hate Bride. Honestly, like, I hated 7-Year Slip and Butcher and Blackbird. Sorry. I'm sorry if you love those. I know everyone else does besides me, so that's why I wanted to mention them. Anyway, hopefully I will do these every 3-4 months or so. If you enjoyed it, definitely let me know in the comments what was your favorite read, romance or otherwise, in the first 4 months of 2024. And I would love it if you would subscribe and stick around. I know it's been many months since I've done videos, and I'm trying to do them again. So hopefully I'll be more consistent with my uploading. But I really appreciate it if you made it this far, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Bye!